people.
Hi.
We're back.
We are back again with another episode of... I was thinking, we are just supposed to enter now. I said, we are back again with another episode of...
Girls, Glasses, God podcast. Woo! Why did you do that?
You are not a musical person. I can see it now. Because if you were, you would have just entered the song immediately.
Is that how they used to enter musical whatever?
You could have done like a musical podcast.
Sorry,
now.
you
This
were
could have
off
been our
key.
musical.
Wow.
Wow.
If the music was sonorous, it would have just glided.
I don't want to say it's God, but it's God that we judge you. Because it's God that gave you this voice.
It's God that we judge you too.
And in fact, don't worry.
Hi guys,
Hello.
it's great to be back. It's great to be back. How have you been? Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you for responding and following us as usual. But if you haven't, please do. Just take a second. It doesn't take you 1 second. But we are girls, glasses, God everywhere.
The girls' glasses got everywhere.
It's just
I like that.
so it's just one of us, guys. So yeah, let's get started. How far? How have you been?
I'm good. I think it's not how have I been. I feel really great actually because we just attended this conference.
Yep.
Yesterday, Saturday.
I think we've been doing. For the past couple of days we've had the same. Like we've been in the same environment.
Yes.
Literally
so
talking about
the same things happening to us at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but like I think the highlight of the week, I should say, is the conference that we attended.
Yeah.
Powerful women of God, like
hallelujah.
in fact.
Praise Jesus.
We can't
Amen.
start now because if we start now, it's like we're going to do is copyright infringement.
No, so, well, it was really great. It was really great. Before then, did you do anything?
What did I do this week? I feel like I had a lot of meetings. I feel like this week was a
you went out with your friend on Friday with your friends.
Yeah, I was going to mention that during today's topic actually. Yeah, because well, shout out to you, Shay.
You are screaming into people's ears. I hope you know.
They need to understand my excitement. I met a friend that I had not seen for guess how many years?
1,000 years.
Oh, it's worse than that. 12 years. We had not, like, the last time we saw each other was literally maybe high school graduation. Like that was the last time, but I think it's great that we've been able to stay in touch. And I think earlier in the week or something, she just texted me that she'll be in ATL, that when am I going to be free and all of that. And I said, okay, how long are you here? She said like a week. And I'm like, okay. I was supposed to come to ATL actually on Saturday for the conference, but I was like, I really don't have classes on Fridays, and the volunteer thing I usually do on Fridays, the kids were not going to be in school on Friday. So I was like, okay, like all the chips are aligned right now. So I'm like, definitely I'll come out on, like, is she free on Friday? And she was like, yeah, she's free. And I'm like, cool, like let's do something on Friday.
So what people do?
So we actually first went to the Money Museum. I had never been actually. I know you have been there and you gave me like a souvenir, but like I think it was really cool.
And you did not appreciate it when I gave it to you. You now went there and brought the same souvenir back to me.
And I brought it for her. And she's
so
ungrateful.
What should I do with it?
Can you imagine? Is it not the thoughts that count? Is it not the thoughts that count? I will even collect this souvenir back from you because
I don't want to take it. Take it away.
Because there are people that will be more grateful.
I get that.
Grateful.
I don't want your souvenir.
So we went to the Money Museum and we kind of saw history of money all over the world, because I don't think they were really focusing on just the US, because they really spoke about, you will see different things in Asia, Africa, and the different things people used as money. There was like a vault, it was really cool seeing all of that. Then after that we went to the aquarium. The aquarium is like one of the big tourist spots, quote unquote. And I had never actually been, because in the, where the aquarium is, there's like the Coca-Cola museum, there's the civil rights museum, then there's the Georgia aquarium. So that was the first time we actually went to the aquarium, and it was actually really pretty. Like we saw like different animals, fish, whatever. And I think the funniest part of our visit to the aquarium was the fact that there was going to be a dolphin show, and there were going to be 2 shows, 1x4 and 1x6. So by the time we had finished seeing some exhibits, like around, it was already 4:30, and we just stumbled along to like the aquarium, to the dolphin exhibit, and they were like, oh, the show doesn't start until like 6:00. And we're like, okay, then what do we have to do to be part of the show? And they're like, we should register and sign up. So apparently
we're supposed to.
No.
Oh,
so I think you could pay $5 to get like specific seats. But anybody, as long as you've paid for your tickets, you could go watch the show. So the funny thing was that I think at that point we were a bit tired. So I think after we left that place and we had registered for like the dolphin show or whatever, we now went to another exhibit and we like our feet was hurting us. Maybe it was around 5:10 or something. The next show was by 6, so we're like, okay, let's just chill, let's just sit down and chill somewhere. That's how we sat down. We're talking. Oh, when it was not like 10 minutes to 6, we're like, okay, let's stand up and now start going to the dolphin exhibit and go and watch the show. We got there by 6 on the dot and they were like, oh, you guys are late, that's sorry, the doors are closed. And we're like, huh? They literally said we had to have been there 15 minutes prior. So apparently it was on the bottom of the registration page, but we didn't see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we missed the dolphin show, but we saw other exhibits and it was really nice. There was even one particular part that we went to where it was like the deepest part of the ocean, something like that. There's a particular thing called the deepest part of the ocean. So yeah, it was really cool all around. And I think like, yeah, this weekend has definitely been a hit for me. So
that's nice. That's nice.
How was your own?
I think
week?
Before we even get to my own, I think the best part, I told you the best part of the Money Museum is where we saw the US legal tender that was like $10,000 US dollars.
Cool.
And
so
the
5,
person that took us was giving us an explanation of when.
Oh, you guys had like a guide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I remember.
Project. So that was really cool. And then we heard the stories of what came about, and then now they have it in the museum and they're just showing people like, oh, this actually existed at some point.
Yeah. But sorry, one thing I remember reading from that aspect that had like the different notes was them saying that it's no longer in circulation, but sometimes you see a random 5,000 or 1,000 come into circulation.
Yeah, it's not into. But I think people collect these things. I think that day too, the man was like, oh, like some people collect like all these notes and coins that are like out of date, and then they just have it in their collections. Anyway, my week was great. I think the major part was what she said yesterday. We were like out all the had conference. Today went out for, well, it was supposed to be brunch, but it became lunch at the end of the day, which was nice. We had steak. And then before that I traveled, and then I came back on Thursday, and every other thing has been work. So
Work.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been great. It's great to be back recording again.
It's great to be back.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, I think we're already like giving people a hint from like the last episode. So, but today we're going to be talking about friendships.
Yay. Is there a song about friendship?
I don't know.
Who is your guy? Well, no, but that's not friendship, Sha.
Well, anyway, it's still a form of friendship.
Yeah.
Still a form of friendship.
Oh, there was one. Oh, was it? No, there was one song that Johnny Drew sang about friends. The song was really cool. He sang it with Don Jazzy.
I can't know the song.
I know that song, but it's not coming to my head. Anyway,
I'll find the song and put it when I'm editing the.
Yeah, but yeah, today we're talking about friendship. We're talking about friendship, and for the next 3 episodes, we're talking about different aspects of friendship. But before we get started, I think before we started this show, we're talking about let's talk about how we met and things like that. But we've gone through this path before.
We've said that story before,
and I don't think we want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Like,
so like, I feel like
we had a friendship tag episode on my channel. We had a video about friendship tag, and then we spent like a lot of minutes trying to understand how we actually met, and it was futile because at the end of the day we could not we could not come up with a consensus on how we met. So we'll just leave it like that.
And even that video that we shot, so I think you still edited away some parts. Well, we spoke for like
it was so
maybe
long.
like 10 minutes trying to decide, okay, was it like this or like this or like this? And I've only showed like maybe 3 minutes of the clip or something.
Because I can't bore my audience with how we are arguing about how we met.
Oh God.
So, but yeah, I think I like the fact that it's a mystery.
It's a mystery to us as well.
How we met is a mystery, but we met and we are here.
Exactly.
So, but let me ask you, what was your first impression of me? At least we can go that route. Of
it was very slim, and you were always wearing skirts.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I noticed, because I've never been a fan of skirts. Like, you will hardly ever see, like, I wear dresses and I wear like pants and jeans and all of that, but you can almost count the number of times you see me on skirts, and it's only when I find a skirt that I like and I'll wear it. But I hardly wear skirts, so it was always really nice for me to see that there was somebody who could wear skirts
and killed it. Bro. Like, I'm sure she was
Let's
like,
move
this
on.
girl. Like,
Let's
how
move
is
on.
she always looking so
you are killing
good?
it. I said I should come and be my stylist, and he's there telling me rubbish.
But for real, though, I used to dress really well. So
Yeah.
I used to wear skirts, I remember. And then, okay, so let me tell you why. One of the reasons why also I used to wear dress. And but I think one of the things at that time, that phase of my life was I have really nice legs. If you've noticed, and I'm like,
the world must see this.
I'm like, oh please, I can't hide this. So yeah,
but yeah, I think that.
But it was a phase, so because now I can count the amount of times I wear skirts.
I think it's even like, do you really see people wearing skirts here?
Yeah, people do.
Do people? Man, I feel like it's just people.
And I think because of the weather too.
True.
I think
People
summer
wear, like,
you see more people wear skirts. Like, so you see people wear like all these
sundresses,
all
and
these
everything.
golf skirts and things like that. So
But yeah, that was like one of my first impressions.
So wait, your first impression that I was slim and I wear skirts?
Were you not slim and wearing skirts?
That was your first impression of me.
Wait, what do you mean by first impression? It's not like
what did you think? Like, what came to your mind when you saw this girl? Like, what came to your
But
mind?
you know, the first time we met, we didn't even really used to talk like that. Like, it was just like, oh, you were a classmate. So first impression is like, oh, this girl, she's really slim and she wears skirts and dresses all the time. You didn't used to wear jeans because that time jeans was what was raining. But like that was like a unique aspect that you didn't used to wear jeans, only gown. Okay. And even most times you liked all these Ankara gowns, and things like that. So
I did a number of that. Well, that's good. So if I now say that, so now she said I was.
Don't
so if I now
copy
say
me.
that,
Don't
when I
copy
say that my first video, that yeah, fat. What will you say?
I was not even fat then. I was not even as fat. If I'm not fat now, we will cut all this fat out. I was not even fat. I was even slimmer then compared to now.
But now in my eye, we're still not the same size at that time. So
are you saying you've added weight or what?
No, like you now, like you were not slim. Even at that time, like by standard, you were not slim.
That's because society is wrong. But if you look at that picture, you look at me now, you'll not be saying, Omo-Olorun, you were slim here. See, this world, people should disturb me.
Oh my god. First impression. I can't remember my first impression of you, honestly. I think so. I'm trying to even remember like when I first saw you and had an impression. I think the first conversation that we ever really had that we both agree was when you were in my room that day.
So before that day, you had never seen me before because how did I come to your room?
No, I had seen you before, but I don't think I had an impression. Just like you said, we were colleagues.
You will not be impressionless in the name of Jesus, Ebu. You will not be impressionless.
I said colleagues. We were classmates. So it was just like, physio department.
Then we need to pray to God for revelation to reveal how, because when I think about it, I'm like, in fact, we're not in the same block.
Before that room that day, I don't have any vivid.
Something must have happened that made me come to your room. Because how did I even know your room in the first place?
I don't know.
I was stalking you.
But anyway, when we had that conversation that day, so Omo-Olorun has this. She had this chubby look. Obviously, she still does. So I used to think in my head that this girl,
chubby look.
This girl must be from Lagos.
It's like you're not hearing me. Like, my earpiece is not work. My mic is like, hello. I can't hear myself again. Hello. How do I have a chubby look, please?
So I don't know how, but
this is body shaming.
So when you said I was slim,
but you were slim.
But now you are saying that you are not chubby or you were not chubby.
I was not chubby then. I can say I'm chubby now because my father said I look like a PC boy. Now they say I have fat cheeks right now, but then I was not.
This is my impression, right? Because I don't understand why you're putting words in my mouth.
Continue.
So I had always just had that thought that, this girl must be from Lagos. You know how Lagos girls need to have like one particular look.
How? Okay,
and then I was like, she was also wearing glasses like me and stuff like that. So I was like, this girl must be like that. She's like, right. I can't remember. We were having a conversation. She was like, I'm from Benin. I said, eh? It was like, and I don't know. I feel like I had that, I don't know the kind of image I had. Like, it's like, again, when you see somebody, there's something that comes to your head. Not even deep stuff. I was like, this girl must be from Lagos, Boti girl and all that. That's from Benin. I said, eh? Benin. From where now?
Because number one, used to hear that Benin girls were like,
they were Raz.
Yeah.
So I was like from here to here. But again, like obviously she did not look like a Raz person. So I was like, okay, Benin. Again, Benin people, well, no shade, but I mean, Benin is associated with Edo and jazz and Razness and like a lot of things.
That's what they know them for. Because there was even a particular time that the turning to my house, there was literally a billboard that said something about jazz. My daddy was like, how are they openly? So yeah, like that's like naturally that's the first impression. Like if it's like a stereotype, that's the stereotype of Benin people that is known for jazz.
So that was
what
came to my head. I was trying to figure out, okay, like what were you? So I think I was asking questions like, okay, how did you get to Benin? Obviously, you are not Benin. You are Yoruba, and So I'm like, okay, so like, how did you? But I think with time, I think I just kind of got used to it. When that time you go to ABC, say I'm going to ABC, I'm going to find out the transport. Transport to Benin before you guys now eventually moved.
Yeah.
So I don't think I had met anybody from Benin. Like I don't think I had before then anyway, I had a close contact with somebody from Benin. So.
You said something now and I have to pick up on it. What do you mean? I don't know what do you mean by you said she looked like she was from Lagos, Boti. What that Boti, please? What do you mean by that?
You had a Boti look now. I don't know how to describe it. Again, I think it's because you were chubby. You know how when you see someone that is like chubby and this girl is eating well. Now, how that has to do with Lagos, I don't know. But it's like some people say me too, and they're like, some people never believe I'm from Ibadan. Like people always say, oh, you don't look like, and I'm like, how do Ibadan people look?
So it's the same way now that I will ask you, how do Lagos people look?
I don't know. I think it's just a stereotype. I feel like, again, we watch movies, and we see how, and in movies now, like Boti people, rich people, they're always from Lagos or something. Like there's always that stereotype of how people that live in Lagos look like. So you just kind of, and personally though, I was not so well traveled in Nigeria. Like I was like Ibadan, proper Ibadan babe. So yeah, I think that's it. But anyway, that was our first impression. Talking of first impression, like about this whole stereotype thing. I remember one time like that, one of my family friends, I was in Abuja. I think I told that story before. And then when I got to Abuja, my mom was like, oh, I have like this person, this particular family in Abuja that I'd never heard before anyway. And then she was like, go and greet them. They stay so place. Can you go? So, we got numbers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go and greet them. And then I returned that day. And then it was not later that one of them was not telling me that when their dad told them that someone from Ibadan was coming to visit them, that they had pictured someone that was like, maybe had tribal marks, like fat, and like a typical.
Yeah, true.
So when I came, he was like, this does not match the kind of.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think stereotypes.
True. Because now that you mentioned this now, it just reminded me of when we were pretty much younger and we had to go and see our. So my dad has a brother in the UK that has been there for like, I think almost all his life. So they have like family there and everything. So when we were traveling to go and see them, and we already knew them, like we knew that they were our cousins and everything. We're not like, I don't think then maybe pictures were not really that. Like you had hard copy pictures, you didn't really have like a way to send them
digital
over.
Pictures, yeah.
So we're like, we're trying to imagine like what would they look like and everything. So I don't know if you ever watched this show, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, on Disney Channel.
No.
The one with the brothers that were twins.
Oh yeah.
So you know how they have their hair that is blonde and everything. So you're like, they're living in their abroad. That is how their hair must look like. So we're now betting among ourselves, only for us to go there. We now saw the same kind of low cut baba kind of hair. And we're like, what kind of abroad children are this one? So I think actually what you see, the things you see, the things you hear, you actually have a large part in some of the outlooks you have, especially when you've not been in a particular place or you've not seen particular things, right?
Okay, so now we've talked about like our first impression, and then we've come from thinking, oh, this girl is from Benin, this girl is slim, to coming all the way like to what? How many years later? Like 10 years ish plus.
Is it 10 years
later?
But did you give me 10-year friendship gift?
Wait.
Wait.
Wait. Friendship.
When did we enter? Let's not say this. 20. Ebun!
What happened?
It's more than 10 years. Is it possible?
Like 10, 11 years. But since we cannot decide when we actually did meet, it's between 10 and 11 years. Anyway, so what has the journey been like for the past 10 or 11 years, depending on what the timing is?
10 to 15 years.
I mean, yeah.
What has the journey been like? I feel like the journey has been one of, I think, a lot of growth. I think it doesn't characterized by a lot of growth, because I know that some of our conversations that we have when we think about, there's no how when you've known somebody for a long time and you start talking about some things, you're like, oh, remember when we, even something as simple as, oh, a birthday party. There were some times where we had like some grand dreams of what we wanted to do for our birthday, right, when we were in school. So, I feel like the journey has definitely been one of growth, a lot of growth. And I think we are also people who have tried our best to also make sure that we are lifting ourselves up and developing each other. Like, nobody is at one point that is like maybe A and another person's at Z, right? So it's always a stage of, okay, as you're moving forward, I'm moving forward. As I'm moving forward, you're moving forward, and things like that. So
hold that thought. Someone said something one day, I can't remember what the whole conversation was, but the question that I would like to ask from that particular conversation is, do you think people grow out of friendship? Okay, so the conversation that was happening that day was people grow out of friendship. Do you think people grow out of friendship? And if yes, why do you think we haven't grown out of friendship?
I think people grow out of friendship. I think it's possible that people grow out of friendship. And so two questions, right? Is it true that is it possible that people grow out of friendship, and why haven't we grown out of friendship? I think people grow out of friendship for a number of reasons. I think one major thing, when you start thinking about friendships that maybe you had from when you were younger, even up until now, friendships a lot of times start with proximity.
Okay.
So when you are younger, like you are all in a class together, you guys are probably moving from like one class to the next class to the next class, or you're in church, or you're, something is bringing all of you together at the same place at the same time. That builds like proximity, like it builds some sort of friendship when you're a bit younger, right? And then again, when you now start growing up and you're now like at our age or like a little bit older, what keeps friendships at that point is intentionality and commitment. And you are saying, yes, I want to keep this friendship, and it has to be like a two-way thing. It can't just be one person like forcing himself on the other person. It has to be like both of you. So I think why we have not grown out of friendship, another thing is very easy intentionality, number one. Number two, I would even say proximity, because a lot of times we're not even in the same space.
Exactly.
But I would say that we also have similar values and shared values. A lot of the time, I think that was even one thing that even made us close in the first place, was that we think alike. Like there are a lot of things that on a lot of topics, we have the same mindset about a lot of things. So I think when you have somebody like that you guys flow, it's very hard. Like I'm not saying it's not easy to easily fall out of the friendship, but I think that if you're very intentional that this is something that I want to do, this is something that I want to maintain, I think you're going to keep it. But you can definitely fall out of friendship because sometimes you guys just don't have the same values anymore, or you guys don't just have the same mindset anymore, or you guys just don't have the same, or you guys are not just in the same space sometimes. And if it was never deep, like it's going to be easy to fall away from.
Do you think we ever fell out of friendship? Do you think there was a time when we were just not as close, or like it was like at the borderline of falling out of friendship?
I don't actually think so. I don't think so. The only time I can think about was maybe during NYSC. And I know that there was something that was happening with me and all of that. I remember that time we fought, but you say you can't remember that we fought. But me, I remember that we fought.
See the word fight there. What caused my head is I brought like
Ebun beats me like uppercut kind of beat, and then I can't
even remember us fighting because even when you were sick, you were sending me pictures. I remember I still have those pictures. That your fishbone picture on my phone, like everything that was happening to you.
So now you see the reason why I don't go slimmer than this, because when I go slimmer than this, they start saying I look like a fishbone.
Maybe when we achieve some audience, I will release that picture. Omo-Olorun looks like she wants to break into two. You know how fish when it's dry.
So that's it. I think everybody should just accept it like this. Accept whatever you see God has given me.
No, there's nothing wrong with you now. We have accepted you like that.
What do you mean by you have accepted like that? As if you have been trying on my life since.
No, like I don't think I've ever really, even when I told you when you became slim that this cannot be what your end product would be. Like it's not possible. I don't think you can be. I don't see you being slimmer. Like I don't know. Number one,
it don't fit me because I look.
Your head is big.
Yeah, why do you have to say my head is big? Like Ebun has been bullying me right from 1962.
But you have a big head.
But my head is not that big.
But you have a big head.
Like this is the head that God gave me.
And that's why you have a big body to support your big head.
No, I will not take this sitting down. I will not take this standing. In that period of time, I remember that we fought actually, because then I think I was really I think
why did we fight? Like, was the fight from me? Like, did I say something
yes,
like
the fight was from Ebun. It was wicked. No, I think
it
it was actually from me, because I think at that point I was having issues with communication, because even then I remember my mom kept on saying that. I don't even know, sometimes I think I just have some weird things that happen in my head. I won't say weird, but I think that's why I said I try to minimize the kind of things I read and things like that, because I think maybe I had read a book or something and the girl said that she was speaking to her mother only once a month, and in my head that was like, oh, that's true, like you should only be talking to like maybe once a week or once a month. I think she said once a month. So I was like, oh, that's talking to somebody once a month is fine.
Why?
I don't even know. I don't know. So I think that, so when my mom was now always fighting with me, because she was like, I don't call, I don't call, I don't something. So I was like, but that book said that. But no, I think that period of time, I remember that something happened. I think you were like, I was not responding to messages. No, like I was not, but maybe I was not initiating messages, or I was not initiating something. Then I think you now said, I can't. You won't. I don't know why you said you can't remember. I will go and look for that chat history. You sent me a picture of 2 bags, and you were like, I should pick one. Then when I now picked one, nothing happened again. When we were now like talking and everything, you were now saying that the reason why you sent that picture was that you were trying to see, like something like you wanted me to say something more like, why do you buy? What are you buying this bag for now? Like just like engage in conversation or something, and I wasn't saying anything. I can't
remember. If you have that chat,
I'll look for it. So that time was just like, no, we had a conversation. It wasn't like we talked on this phone. Thing. We didn't talk like on chat or something. So yeah, that's the only time I can think that we ever really argued self or something. But what's my own what? What's your own response to the question?
What question?
Of the question you asked just now, that do you think people fall out of friendship? And
I'm just messing with you, you know. So yeah, I believe obviously people fall out of friendship. For instance, I think we're having a conversation about like people that I did high school with, and I'm like, wait, who do I still have like a very, very close relationship with at this time? I don't know. I can't even remember. But I think again,
which one is high school?
Secondary school now.
Okay. Secondary school? Okay. I still know people. I still know.
It's not like I don't know people. Like I know people, really, but I don't have like a very close relationship
with them.
Yeah, and then, but again, another thing is, so it's quite dicey because I've had friends longer than secondary school that I still have a very close relationship with. So, well, I believe that people fall out of friendship because there are people that I meet people in every phase of my life. I meet people in every phase of my life. When I was doing NYSC, there were people that I was very close to in NYSC, and after NYSC, that was it. It just fell through. And I'm not even saying that we are not, like, we don't talk anymore. Maybe like hello, hi, but we don't have like that close relationship.
Connection again. I think that's where proximity comes in, because you guys were in the same place, you guys, the same things were happening to you. You guys were living the same kind of life. Because I'll echo the same thing you said about NYC too, because even sometimes like, when you try and bring that connection, like when you try and instigate that friendship, like, oh, let's talk about something, sometimes it's just not the same thing, because you guys are not in the same
way apart. So I think out of NYC, I think the only person that I still have, maybe Kenny, or like, well, a couple of people, but like, you know, it wasn't as tight as, you know, what it used to be. So I believe that people fall out of friendship. Just echoing all the things that you said about, you know, you don't have things to talk about anymore. That phase of your life is over. Proximity also, you know, has to do with it. But again, we haven't always been together all the time. So that's why I asked if you feel like we have grown apart at any point. So because it's like after school, we did NYC in 2 different states.
In fact, the distance between the states gone.
Yeah, and we didn't see ourselves until we didn't see ourselves until you came to. Let's not use mouth to come to Abuja. Until you relocated to Lagos.
Yeah,
until you started your work. So look at how many years apart that was.
That's true.
So we had NYSC. After NYSC, you stayed back to work. I think for like a year or 6 months or so before you now started, you know, the whole job conversation before you now came to Lagos.
Yeah, I think I did.
And I was not even in Lagos.
You were not in Lagos.
When you were in Lagos,
I was officially in Lagos December 2018.
And I wasn't in Lagos.
You were not in Lagos at that time. You were in Abuja. You were still in Abuja.
I was in Abuja. So
true.
We didn't. So that's why I was asking you that.
It wasn't until like Surulere now that you now came to Lagos, and even then I was not even your own part. You were in a different part of Lagos. I was in a different part of Lagos, and you were always traveling.
Yeah, I think the very first time we saw.
You never even stayed in Lagos. Let's never act like you were in Lagos and I was in Lagos. It was until after the pandemic.
Yeah, then I now stayed for, even after the pandemic, I stayed for a while, then I traveled, then I came back. So that's what I'm saying, that we haven't always like been together.
Pandemic was 2020. So that was like 2020. And we finished school 20.
We met before 2020, maybe 2019. I started working in 2019. So I started living in Lagos 2019. So that was like, we saw during convocation anyway. We saw during convocation. Yeah, but we were not like, always in the same. So that's why I was saying that, I mean, proximity also has to, but we're not always in the same space. Yeah. So, I don't think we've had a fallout. I can't even remember this conversation that you said. Yeah. I know that sometimes if I don't like something, I will say it out, but like I don't think I really keep the memory of, this particular time something happened. So that's why I can't remember what happened at that time. Because I know we were still chatting, like you were still sending pictures of your fishbone self, of your, when you went for, rural rugged.
Yeah.
I still have those pictures, and your wall picture. You
don't want to delete the pictures. Please delete those pictures, please.
This one went to snap it. I was walking wall.
I was even looking like the wall, because there was almost no difference between me and the wall.
So that's I'm trying to see that part where, because we were talking. There was one time if I can still remember some of these conversations. There was one time when she first started her NYSC, when she moved. I think that was like the first time you lived alone.
When I bought mattress.
I was not ready to buy mattress. She was so excited. She was like, I bought this Uneka cool mattress. She came and she was like, I bought it for so much. I was like, that's good price. Like 1 month later,
the mattress was flat.
So that's what you should understand. I still remember some of those stuff. So I can't remember where the fallout was. But I think the reason for saying this is, or the reason for asking all these questions is, how do you think people can maintain friendship? And I'm not even saying that, our friendship is perfect. Well, it's near perfect, please.
We can do a masterclass for you guys if you're trying to,
Go register for a masterclass.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that, like, how do you
follow us first and bring 10 people?
5. Understand business strategy. But the question is, how do you maintain friendship? Like, what are the factors that maintain friendship, and how do you maintain friendship? Because the thing is, again, I'm friends with you. Another person that I can talk about is Tunchi. Myself and Tunchi haven't seen.
I've not seen Tunchi. Wait, they will say you said, because you and Tunchi said together. I've not seen Tunchi since 2016.
No, we did convocation.
Since 2017. I've not seen Tunchi since 2017.
So, and then
Tunchi, hi.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to do that part, because Tunchi will now start saying, why are you always mentioning my name on your podcast? So,
don't delete it.
So we haven't seen, and again, I also have childhood friends that I haven't seen in a very long time. So how do you maintain? And I also have people that we were friends for a short period of time, right? So how do you maintain friendship? What do you think?
Intentionality,
okay,
right? Because friendship is a two-way street. You can't decide. You can decide that you want to be somebody's friend, but the person can decide not to be your friend as well. Okay. And it's not be like you are forcing yourself on the person and you are being a stalker or whatever, or you are being too much. Because people have to have the same feelings towards each other and have the same intentions, right? So I think it first starts with, I want to make this work and I'm going to do something about it. So not that one. So again, it now shifts things off balance if it's just one person that is putting in the work. Because just like they'll tell you that, marriage is work, friendship is a lot of work, because you are managing your life. You are also thinking about that person's life and the things the person is going through and things like that. So I think it first starts with being very intentional that, okay, I want to make this work and I want to make sure that this thing continues. And, again, I feel like there are also different cadences with your friends, because there are some people that you guys go deep. There's some people that you guys just ha and everything. So like there are some friends that you have that you people might not talk for like 2 weeks or even 2 months, and when you guys come back talking again, it's like you guys never stop talking. So like I feel that you should understand the kind of friends that you have. You should understand the kind of relationship that you have with them, and just be very intentional about it. I'll say that's what makes it work, and being very thoughtful and being very honest in your conversations too, because you can't in the place of friendship, you can't make excuses, right? You can't say, or you can't cast blame to somebody. Like, because right now, I think that's one thing you notice with when you're an adult, when you're friends from like school or whatever, or childhood, and it was very easy to be friends that time, but now you guys are adults, you guys are like apart. like you are in Calabar, somebody's in Abuja, things like that, and you don't know what that person is going, like you don't know what's happening in that person's day. The person does not know what's happening in your day. Expect you guys talk about it. And again, you can't make excuses of, oh, I didn't know, or I don't know if you'll be busy. You know, just don't make excuses. Like, be very intentional and very open about, I want to make this work. I'm going to call you. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think for me, friendship starts from one of the things you said, having the same value.
Yeah.
Right. I think it starts from there. Like, if I meet you today and we don't have the same mindset, it can't last long, because most of what I'll be saying is things about me, about what I'm doing, and if it does not interest you, then it can't go for long. And I think that's one of the things that did not make some of my friends, because I'm like, now that I'm doing certain things, you know, if I call you and start telling you about those things, you might not even be interested,
or you might not even understand why you're doing certain things.
Yeah. So someone's like, why are you like why are you always going for things like this, or why are you always very determined? Some people cannot understand it, and it's because we are just different.
Yeah.
So that's the number one thing, is like, if you guys share the same value, then it will go a long way. So for instance, like when we were in school, we've been talking about like things that we're doing now since we were in school. So, you know, even out of school, we were applying for scholarships, and then we're filling ourselves in like, oh, okay, how far we did all this nonsense Nigerian scholarships that I'm not even going to talk.
The tail of it.
But like, we were always, and I feel like, okay, so we were in the same department, and then after the same department, we now decided that we wanted to do the same thing, which was like public health. And then after that, we kind of found ourselves in another space entirely that was different. So it wasn't weird in any way. So like, when we had even on the spiritual level, like we know where we stand. So for instance, when we were in school, I was in VHF, you're in RCF, but like, we used to have interchangeable programs. Like if we had something today, we'll go for it. Like, I remember like things that you came for. So yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, you know, once you guys have a lot of things in common, number one, it goes a long way. Now the second thing is trust and integrity, right? So it's like, again, I'm always very conscious, and now I'm even better. Before, I used to like retaliate, like if you do something, if you not like retaliate, but like how you treat me, or how not even do you, like I just observe, and then if I see that, oh yeah, this type of way, I kind of want to, you know, show you like, okay, no, this is not going to work. Because thing is, if you are friends with someone and the person is taking advantage of you all the time. So for instance, I remember in school, sometimes you have money, I don't have money. Sometimes I have money, you don't have money. And then we go to Budija Market.
We'll go to Zatek
to buy chicken and chips.
You know, we enjoy
what's this thing? Chicken strips or whatever. Like,
go to ShopRite, buy chicken strip.
We spend like fools. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, we'll go to ShopRite and buy like
chicken strips. There was a particular time that chicken strips was 3,000 per pound.
I can't remember.
They used to wait.
Yeah.
I think at the time when it was the most expensive, when we were living in school, it was 3,000.
And they will now branch Pep and buy sneakers and buy like all this. I'm like, so you will be like, no, these people are like,
who are the worst when it comes to that.
And that was how we lived. Like, it was more like, oh, you know, if once one person has money, then that means both of us have money. And it even trickled into like when we're living together. So it's like, where you're coming from work, I'll be like, but you can text me and say, buy water or buy cereals. Like, not even especially this one, not even essential things. So it's not even, it's not say buy 5 alive, buy like. And then I won't come back and I say, did you give me money before I go out?
Yeah.
Except if I was like flat out broke, but I don't even think
we
that
ever got to a point where we were, thank you Jesus.
Yeah. So now imagine that, you know, you were that kind of person that, once I don't have money, no, like once I don't have money, you're like, always giving money, but then when I now have money, and I say I don't have money, and I have money, right? And then, you know, at some point, and I realized that wait, something is wrong. It's that you never have money, or you know that at that point you start moving to the, like, unconsciously you start moving to the back, like, okay, this is not. And I was also having that conversation with my mom today, like, if you're a person of integrity and people can trust you about certain things becomes easy. But if you're that kind of person that you are always taking that, you're always give me, you never give people, you never give. you do it once, you do it twice, people are fine because everybody's kind. You do it 3, 4, 5 times, people will move back from you. So I think that's also one of the things. So it was like a mutual understanding. And if none of us had none of us had. I remember when I was coming abroad and I was like, I need some amount of money. And then I said, let me transfer. And money was actually very huge. What's your account number? Let me talk to this person and transfer this amount of money to you. So, and it wasn't weird in any way. Like, it wasn't a big deal in quotes. And that was because we've built that foundation of trust and integrity. You're going to say something?
No. I was listening to what you were saying.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that I was now going to talk about is communication. Communication is the word you use, a two-way street. So again, it's like, what are you giving in friendship? So a lot of times people think about what is being given to them, what they are receiving, and they don't really think about what they're giving. So if somebody is calling you all the time, for instance, I think one of the reasons why I could have said, oh, why are you giving me maybe one word answer? You know, why are you saying, okay, fine. Like, if I'm trying to have a conversation with you, for instance, I'm filling you in on what is happening to me in Abuja, and you are saying, okay, cool, fine. Like,
it's not even FIN, it's FYN.
K dot. So, like, it's not going to last. But the constant communication. So, it's like, oh, you were doing... Like, I remember when you left for Calabar before I did. So, you got to come... No, we left on the same day. And then you got to come before me. And I remember you were showing me pictures of your hostel. Like, everything was, like... I was like, at least I enjoy it, though. And in my head, I was like, Abuja is going to be...
Other than this, yeah.
Jesus, that Abuja camp... I don't even know what to call it. I was disappointed. I was more than disappointed, and that's where Kenny came through.
Is that not the same camp that you said there were people that had like mansions in that place? That there was a theater. It's not the Abuja camp.
Yeah. Theater from where?
That you were saying that people that have money, like, you know, all these like Abuja children, that they would just come. That they had like a separate place. That people had like a
Except maybe some people don't even do camp. Some people don't do camp. Some people just come, do whatever, and go. But
I thought you were saying that. I thought you were telling me about how there was one particular
house. The only person I know is one of
my
my friends at that time whose dad was an NYC official, and they had their own house.
Maybe I thought you meant these Abuja people have house inside camp.
No, I don't think so. I know there was NTCF there. Then some of the officials have houses, but almost the normal camp, it was crazy. And me, I had already bumped up my expectations from this one's pictures. I was like, Abuja is Abuja now. More.
But I think the only reason why our camp was good was because at that time there was this thing that was happening around in Nigeria. What was it? This brain thing. You can't remember there was one exam they were telling us to do before we go for camp. So I think somebody had what was the name? Is it the meningitis? So I think something had happened in the Obubra camp. They now moved. So that place is worse because it's known for the red sand. So when you wear your shoe and everything, all your clothes will be red. So when it was our turn to go for camp, something had happened in that camp, so they closed it down. So they now took us to like an alternative site. So that one was now fresh. So when I go to Koshif and they're like, oh, red sand, I'm like, red sand. But I did not experience red sand with them.
The very first, in fact, from the first night, I was like, already counting down. Like, I was like, there's no way I was going to enjoy 21 days. So I remember that night, I was so stressed. I don't even know what to call it. Like, I traveled with my mother forced me to carry bucket all the way from Ibadan. I carried bucket. When I got there, like, I think I left the bucket somewhere. I went back. When I got to the bunk hostel, I was like I was so, I didn't even, like, and then I was now I met Kenny and my other
Kenny was your bunkmate, Abby?
No, Bilikis was my bunkmate. So Kenny now came to me and was like, oh, do you want to have dinner? And I was like, yeah, I want to have dinner, but number one, I don't even know where my bucket is. I don't even know where they're selling. Like, I was just like, I don't even know. My head is aching me. I was just like, don't worry, Kenny is she's one of those people that if you want to do something, she just carries it. We look like, oh no, those people that they say, let's go. So we now went back to where my bucket was, and then we found it, and then she now took me to Mami. Apparently, she's already Abuja based anyway. So she took me to Mami Market. We now got food, and then when we came back, I think she brought something from home or something like that. She was not like, "Do you want to eat?" I was like, "Oh, that's so thoughtful." Like, I don't know. Again, act of kindness. That thing it attracts me to people. I'm serious, and that's if it's sincere. And I think the thing is, I can easily spot it if it's sincere. And I think that's why we are still close today, like myself and Kenny, because there's so many things that that girl came through for me a lot of times, especially because I was going to Abuja without any
connection. No Abuja connection.
I was so the thing is, again,
so that's God now. That's God for you, because God already put somebody there ahead of you, so that when you get there, your way will be. They should have called me for that picture something. I would have just been giving them word. I would say, you see that something. Actually, we should do that game.
We should.
See what people will come up with.
Yeah, I think, so that's also another thing. Like, again, I'm just bringing Kenny because I'm just remembering all the time. I remember when I had an accident, like, Kenny put her whole family. See, no, some people are, sometimes you remember some things, you're like, no, some people are friends.
Yeah.
We might not talk every day, but some people are like, they are gems, like they are rare gems.
Yeah.
So communication is very important. If we don't talk for 5-6 months, it will be weird because you won't know what I'm doing. You won't know the next part I'm going to. And time is going very fast.
Things
like
are
life
happening.
is
Things are
moving so fast. So that, and the communication is not, you not pick up and say, hey, you have forgotten, please.
I think that's something I don't think we ever had that issue because we're almost always talking. But I think that's also something that I've learned in my time of living my life, that you also don't know what people are going through. So there's sometimes that people will not call you, or sometimes it's like you're the one that is always reaching out. And I was telling you, I think I mentioned it in one of our earlier episodes about how I was saying, this person has not called me, this person has not called me.
Yeah,
and I was like, the first thing I was going to say,
YouTube
okay,
channel.
the first thing I was going to say was, so you cannot even remember me or something like that. But I think it was just the Holy Spirit that just said, calm down. And I was like, oh, how are you? The person just started telling me things, and I was like, hey, well, that if I had come out with that, the person wouldn't have felt comfortable saying some things to you.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, it's also important that you think about what is happening. Like, you don't know what's happening to some people, right? So communication is very important. But again, there are also, and I think it's also important to also refresh yourself with some people. Like now, I've been trying to, because a particular friend of mine from NYC, I just realized, I think it was earlier this year, that I was like, I haven't heard from this girl. Normally she would have either called, or I would have called, or at least WhatsApp message or something like that. And I called 1 time, 2 times. And I'm like, there's something definitely happening here. The fact that she's not responsive and everything. But if I just put the sense of, oh, I've called, and you didn't call me back, or you didn't say anything, I'll not start. So again, I think you also need to be very kind too in reaching out to people.
Yeah.
You also need to be very kind in reaching out to people, and don't make assumptions, because you are living your life and you feel that things are happening, and because not everybody people are living lives. Like, people have full on lives. They have families. You don't know what their families are going through.
Yeah.
You don't know what is happening. So you need to be very careful about the things, like the way you react to people, or the way you react to people not responding to you.
Yeah. True. So yeah, that's the thing.
But that also comes when you have trust, I would say, because when you know some people, just like now me saying you're not responding to my message, and I've not heard from you one day today, I'll be like, something is definitely up, because even in times when you need space, it's like, oh, I can't talk right now, let's talk some other time. But when you are calling, you're texting, nothing is happening, that time somebody can get worried. I don't understand why you swear.
That's a very foolish imagination. You know, when it's putting your inside water, you don't know. Oh, good.
So yeah,
I was going to say that the same thing that you said. That when we talk about trust, there must have been a track record.
Yeah,
a foundation must have been laid. Like, you can't just meet somebody today or tomorrow and be like, I trust it. In fact, these days, I feel like, and I think that's why my previous friendships have lasted longer, because I feel like these days I have the littlest expectations of people now, because I'm like, and I don't even mean this in a bad way. I mean, when I'm talking to someone or interacting with someone for the first time, I can't have the same expectation I have of the person like I have with you.
Yeah.
Or with Tunchi, or so if so, and that's just because we've had history. So there's some things that I will do to you, or I'll say, that you will not think about it twice. But there's some things that if I say that same thing to somebody else, the person will be like, like, are you? Why you?
You'll be thinking deeper than that. That's true. That's
so
true.
and that's just because of track record. It's just because that this person does not mean it. This person. I remember there was one time I was watching a YouTube video and things, and then I think it was a couple, not a friend. I think it was a couple, and then they now said, from the chat, it was like, why are you always talking down on this person? And the person was like, I don't even see it, like, and I'm not even saying be rude or whatever, but like, it's like when you say you're a mumu, or
yeah,
like, you now say, or maybe when you say you're very frustrated, when I say get out, or when I say, I beg, shut up. Like,
you know what this thing just reminds me of? If you remember when I first came, we came to the US before me. When I first came, and I was not telling, I don't know if you remember that I was not telling you that is my mouth bad, because the way we are able to talk and the way some of our close friends we talk to ourselves, like we're always giving ourselves bans and this thing, and it was not coming up that my mouth is sharp, I was not like that. This is how I used to talk to my friends, or so. But so that those kind of things allowed me to like take like a step back,
yeah,
and now check and be like,
you can't be like this with everybody.
Yeah. You can't just
literally,
like over familiar sometimes, because it's very easy for you to be like, oh, this person is cool, this person is cool. That it's very easy to fall into like the dialogue of, oh, how me and Ebun talk with other people, but you not realize that somebody will not be taking offense, or so I was just like, okay, like you need to like pause it, like you need to like recheck and now reassess, like, okay, how do I actually want to approach people like this?
So that's what I mean by I don't have expectations from like people, because it's just like your expectation would most likely not be met, and you will not be angry at so many things, because the thing is, these people are new. You guys have not formed again. It's a track record. It's something that you've built in history. So this person knows that, oh, this person is like this, but the person has not had that time to know you yet. You get? So it's like, for instance, now if I need something and I ask somebody and the person says no, I won't take offense. That's the thing. Most times I don't. In fact, when I'm asking you my expectation, I don't want to say I expect a no, but like
I don't even expect anything much. Like I don't put a lot of gravity.
Yeah. So that, because the thing is, people have their reasons. People do things, again, we'll talk about how, there are different types of relationships that are now being termed as friendships, but they're not. So once you realize that, okay, this is not maybe my closest friend or whatever. For instance, now what I will ask of you, and you say, even if you did not want to do it, but you're like, okay, this person is asking for it, I'll do it. It's just because of the kind of relationship I have with a person, so again, so we've talked about communication, we've talked about trust and integrity, we've talked about intentionality, we've talked about having the same values, the same value systems and things like that. So
time also helps things too.
Time
also helps things too. So I think another thing again is also honesty, right? Because I feel that you cannot have a true friendship, or you cannot have a long-lasting friendship when you are not honest about certain things that are happening with you. Because if you are like, you might be going through things, I think it's even better for you to say, I'm going through things I can't talk about right now, than for you to just be silent. Then when you are now through that thing, like, it's not as if like maybe I have one magic power or whatever, or when you're now through that thing, it's not like, oh, this and this happened to me, I'll not be looking like, like, so
but you didn't
say anything. So I think that's not like, oh, maybe I'm not even the friend that I think I am to you, because there's sometimes, or maybe through the ages, you might think that, oh, you and this person are friends, but to the person you're just like just somebody. You might be thinking, oh, like, oh, you guys have potential to become very good friends or something, and to the person it's just like, oh, it's just one girl that used to talk to me, like you will not talk to just one girl that used to talk to the person, not as if the person is talking to you. They used to talk. So you just need to also be like I think that's why a lot of times to adult friendships can be a little bit hard. Because just like we've said about all these things that we mentioned, intentionality, all these things comes with time. Like you can't just meet somebody today and now you're like, oh, you're my best friend, or like I trust you with my life. Like a lot of these things come with time, and adult friendships is like
a lot of work.
And a lot of times, I think we as adults, we make that mistake. Just like I mentioned about how I was relating with some people on 11, I was thinking, oh, why are these people getting offended and stuff like that? We think that because your friends take some things that you do, anybody that you meet that you think can be a potential friend will take the exact same thing without having that same history and that,
exactly what we're saying.
When you're just like, when you have like some inside code with somebody, or like some inside talk with somebody, and if you're trying to translate it to like maybe a new friend group or something, you see that it does not land, you're not like, what's wrong with this? Things like that. But you have to like start building that whole relationship from the bottom. Like, what do you like? It takes time.
Very busy, whatever.
Busy lives. Everybody is living their lives, so it takes time. I think, or let's say like the most painful part is people that you had that relationship with when they don't now like reciprocate, because you people were once like, oh, like this tight, like, but now it's like it's getting hard to, you're hearing one word answers of fine, thank God, God, we thank God, God bless, things like that of what's happening with you, like what's going on. And I think for me, maybe the reason why I don't, because I will say it anyway, that I just have a very small circle of really close friends, and I don't have a lot of friends. So the people that I have as friends, I try to maintain the relationship with them as much as I can, even though it's not the easiest thing, because distance too also puts like some strain on friendships. But I think the main thing with me is like, I don't even know, if you don't tell me things, I won't ask you. So I think that might be like, if I don't know if it's, I don't even know if it's a feeling on my part. It's not good enough on which side?
On your side.
Because
so for
sometimes
instance,
people I don't want to intrude on, so that means that's certain things.
It depends on your relationship with the person. So if the person that you're talking to is like, and maybe before you guys don't talk as much, maybe you guys don't talk about deep stuff, maybe it's just how are you, fine, then that's good. But if somebody is your friend and then the person tells you, oh, maybe I have a project going on or whatever, and then you are now saying that, oh, if you don't tell me more about the project, then I'll never ask about it.
No, if you've told me that you have a project going on, I'll ask about it. But if you never mention that you have a project going on,
no,
I will not come and now say, oh, like, so, what's happening? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but if I've not been given any information, I can't.
No,
go
that's
off
different,
it.
because you can't ask about what you don't know. But if somebody has told you, oh, like if your friend has told you, okay, this is what is happening in my life right now, or
no, definitely. Like, I'll definitely ask about.
For instance, now my friends say, my very close friend too, because this is not to everybody. My friend says, Ebun, you're always asking a lot of questions, or sometimes like, you want like so much. If I tell you something, is that not enough? And I'm like, you can't just tell me. For instance, if you can't just tell me, oh, I want to do a project, and I'll say, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm like, okay, what project are you doing? Like, okay, so what do you need? Okay, so where are you now? Oh, what's happening? And then from there, sometimes you see me talking to somebody on the phone for like 2-3 hours. It's not by how are you fine. It's like, yeah, I have some of my friends that a lot of people will not talk until you ask them certain things. So, you will not now say, oh, because I don't want to go into that aspect of your life. Sometimes you need to have uncomfortable conversation. But if the person never even mentioned anything, that obviously I know a witch,
then there's nothing,
so you will know. But if the person has told you, or this kind of thing, or a certain part of the person's life, I feel like as a friend you should still ask about it. Now it's not different if the person is not responding. That's different, but at least make an effort.
We'll be like, it's just going, we thank God. We're like, okay, thank God for it.
So that's why I said it depends on your friendship.
Yeah,
it depends on your friendship. Anyway, to round this up, what is before we go to daily dose of evil, what's my question? What's your favorite memory of our friendship? Good or bad?
I want to say very funny ass. Is the day we were dancing?
We were dancing.
We were dancing in that clubhouse.
I was dancing in
the river.
Oh no.
Okay. Let me give another. Let me see.
In case you're wondering what she's saying, we are terrible dancers, and then we decided
dancer.
to. Oh wow! Okay, I'll release that video and I'll block myself out of that video.
I have a gift.
So we used to try in our head to do TikTok reel challenges.
Like, fun now. It's easy now.
We look like fools. I swear to God. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like we legit. Like the way. No. Let's not even talk about that. What's your?
Let me see. I just remember. I remember a particular scene in my head.
What's in there?
I have a video on my phone. It should be on my Android phone of when we're graduating. I think it was even me, you, and Tiana that we're not taking pictures. We not started doing that our stupid dance.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the things that we do are just hilarious. But
That's your favorite memory of us.
My brain is just changing. After your face.
So this is not a very good one. No, it's not bad. It's not. We didn't do anything bad, but. I remember there are two things I would say. So I remember there was one time during we had a strike when we were in school, and then I was doing my ATS then. So I think I put a call through. I don't know if you ever remember this. I put a call through to you, and I'm like, I want to tell you something. And before then, some of our classmates were already traveling abroad. So and I said, I need to like tell you something. When I said, hey boo, no, not you. Don't travel. Hey boo, we are almost, the track is almost off. And I'm like, what's doing this girl? You have no idea. I was like, no, like, no, please, don't travel. You know, she was pretty for me. I was like, okay. This girl, so you cannot do it without me. Even at that time, 100 level. I think it was like 200 level. Okay, I think it was
200 level that we had that strike.
No, we had 2 strikes. We had 6 months strike in 100 level. Then we had another strike in 200 level.
Okay.
So it was like, I was like, no, calm down. I'm not traveling. I wish I was traveling. I wasn't traveling. And I told you, I was doing this. I was like, okay, yeah, that's good. Because I didn't really tell it up. And to me, again, when I share certain things with you, it means you are my deep circle. Like, there are some things that if I share with you, it means you are my deep circle. So, you know, that was her initiation into being, but you're like, no, don't travel. Don't leave me in this. I was like, wow. I can't remember again. But the other one I wanted to even say, the one that came to my head is, there was this particular semester where that was when I knew that our friendship can be dangerous. There was this particular semester where it was like the easy semester in quotes.
Hey, Jesus.
So like we had this exam and, you know, everybody was, so at the end of the semester, even, quote unquote, I'm not shedding nobody. And I'm not saying that nobody, but people that we did not expect to do as much. I mean, we are smart people. See, and then that semester, everybody was having like a 6.0. Like that semester was like
the good semester.
The CGPA booster of most of our colleagues.
Our CGPA went down.
We were just quiet. In case you are wondering why we're quiet, the two of us, God, I swear we're very foolish. The two of us had, in actual fact, it was very funny because we had the same CGPA. I'm not even kidding. We had the same GPA. Like we had almost similar scores for every, and I'm like, see, I thought about that in my head a lot of times. I'm like, there's no way. RCJ dropped. I'm like, there's no. So both of us we looked at ourselves like, wait, is this the kind of life I want to be living? I don't know who influenced who, but I can tell you who influenced who. I'll go to this stupid girl's room during the exam period. Go and look for Ginger to read. And she's watching manga. Will you not read? She said, no. Exam is still tomorrow. Exam is tomorrow. Me. I'll do it Friday. I'll go to my room.
Influencing ourselves.
I'll go to my room.
Because that is how me and you went to Tuchi's room to go and read, and the two of us slept off. No. In fact, we don't even pick up our undergrad days because
when we realized,
like, useless girls.
When we realized how foolish, like, I'm like, no, there's no. See, it was very shocking. And okay, so again, context. We never sit down together during examinations. So I don't know if it was just an unsaid rule. I think the only time we sat down was once, and that was because we were late to the exam.
You were even late to an exam.
That's for you to understand your seriousness. I was like, we never sat down together. So it was not like we're having a eye contact or cheating or whatever. I'm like, there's no way. And people don't, it's not like lecturers, no, we don't even write our names. We only write our matric numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way we can have the same scores for almost all this and have the same GPA and both of us drop down to today. I think if we had passed that semester, we could have graduated with the first class. Like no jokes. But anyway, that's why I said good or bad. That's the bad one.
We said to start coughing.
I think after that time I realized that this friendship can be dangerous. I'm like, if we are not, I think after
that semester we became a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Because
I think if we are bring ourselves up. And if we now decide to
drag her, hey God, no.
It's not like I will go to the mall and spend money foolishly.
Yeah, I was even going to say that. Even funny enough, I think our spending has even gotten better. Maybe because
our spending got better.
Because that period of time, I can't even know if you remember that there was a particular semester that I told you that Ebun, I don't have money. That's something. That same day, we went to Ventura. We watched movie. We bought ice cream. We did so. I know what we used to do. We used to do YOLO.
Yeah. We used to do YOLO. You only live once. You be like, I beg. Tomorrow worry about yourself.
I say, I cannot come and keep myself and die at the end of the day. No.
But I mean, we are better people now, and we bring ourselves up now. We are moving on to greatness. Hallelujah. Amen. So what's your favorite memory?
Just unlocked a memory in my head now that
Anyway, what's your only favorite memory?
Oh yes, I remember one. If you remember, there was a particular, I think we were already in 400 level then. So we were in the finalist block and everything. That was my birthday period, but I think I was not feeling fine. I don't know if you remember. That, and my birthday was on a Sunday.
And I followed you to church.
You followed me to church, and you now wore the same clothes as me. We wore our sari kind of clothes and everything. We now did that foolish dance.
Yeah, we did dance. So do we still have that video?
I will find it for my son, so I'll tell my sister to charge my phone and send it to me. I'll even tell her to send that SIM card to me, and not SIM card. What's it called? SD card to me. I'll tell her to DHL it to me. We now did one stupid.
I remember that.
But yeah, I remember that because I had to come back from church, and I remember you came to remember because your own service was in the evening, and you were like, why am I not in church? Like, why did I come back or something like that? I was like, oh, I'm not feeling fine. Something. You were like, no, can you go? But the things I've done because of you. That one was a good one, but the things I've done because of it. No, it's true. That influencing. No, I'll it was started making me cough. But yeah. That's one of the. Well, that was it just unlocked in my head now. Like because we wore the same dress. We're now doing that dance and everything.
I remember the dance. Anyway, it's been fun. What's your daily? Okay, I know you're drinking water, so let me talk about my own daily dose of EO. Before we go, so my daily dose of EO is to mend that friendship. And obviously it's not every type of friendship that you mend, but if you feel or if you are led, or sometimes I'm sure that sometimes Holy Spirit can even tell you, this person, if you feel like somebody has added value and you feel like, oh, this is one friendship that you need to maintain or mend or even add value to or give to, not just receive, I think you should do that. Like, take that one step today. Say hi to that person that you haven't said to in a very long time. I know that everybody's busy. I know that things are happening, can you imagine? Not that I'm even saying that. I remember that I said I was going to call somebody today. But I will. I'll call the person. If at these days I actually write it down. Yesterday in church, I was writing down number of people that I'll call today.
My own resolution, quote unquote, was that as I'm thinking about you like this, I'm texting you or I'm calling you immediately. Yeah. Because I realized I keep on forgetting, and now
we even texted during the week and we're like, oh, let's talk on Sunday. And today's Sunday and we haven't talked. But anyway, so yeah, like, greet that person today. Say hi. Say, share a favorite memory with your friend today and say, oh, we've come a long way. Appreciate your friend, or, just do something. Friendship is great. Good friendship is great. Now, good friendship is even greater. Like, again, two can go a very, very long way. I feel like there are a lot of synergies that we've pulled based on students. It doesn't have sense, I swear to God. Based on you being friends with certain person. So what's your daily dose of you?
My daily dose of you is to be honest in your communication, right? And be intentional, because especially if you notice, if you're the other person in the relationship and you notice that this person is always reaching out to me, this person is always calling me, also take that step and be like, okay, let me even find out what's going on with you. And there are also people that when you get on the call with them, they only talk about themselves. Like, also, if you're that kind of person as well, also think about how to reverse it. There are certain people that you call that that you're just calling to fulfill your righteousness, because they won't ask you a single question about yourself. And it's just like, let me just call this person, and you hear. So that is good in the way that the person will share a lot with you, but it's bad in the sense that the person doesn't even know anything about you or know anything that is going on with you. So be very honest in your communication and be very intentional. That's my daily dose of EU for today, guys.
I can imagine somebody not listening to them like, hey, Ebun, you have not called me. It's all this way. And you are saying that. Please message me, I beg you. But yeah, obviously, I would also do my bit to, check up on people and things like that. But thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys. This was a wonderful episode.
Since we started with a song.
Thank you for joining
okay, no. Shut up. Don't worry. My bad.
My voice is cracked because I was coughing earlier. So
my bad. But yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the episode.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow us.
Yes.
And follow our social media as well.
Send us an email.
Send us an email about your friendships, like about long-lasting friendships, like the oldest friendships that you've had, and how you're able to maintain your current friendships in your adult life.
And if you have any questions too about friendship, let us know.
Also thoughts, stories you want to share.
We'll be talking about this. Not exactly this thing, but like still revolving about friendship and things like that in the next episode. So yeah, be on the lookout.
All right, guys.
And we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.